This might look like the happiest moment of my life, but I was grieving the deepest loss I've ever known.
Charlie, I'm doing good.
Hey, I'm Charlie, and I am a recently turned IFBB professional athlete, which still sounds so surreal to say. I turned pro in my first ever time competing, and also at the same time as working through the loss of my little sister. I've been apprehensive about how deeply and how much I want to share about my journey, but I do so in the hopes that it will inspire others and serve as a reminder that mental strength is not glamorous and is more often than not, it's built in the quiet moments. It's built in the times that you don't want to get out of bed. Mental strength is built in the times that you feel broken and you want to curl up into a ball, but you still somehow find a way to keep moving. So this video is for anybody who's going through tough times, anyone who's pushing through pain, anyone who feels lost after a goal is done, after you've achieved something super huge, or anyone who is working back up from rock bottom, trying to come back to themselves. Let's talk about what's really behind the pro card. So I lost my sister 2 weeks before stepping on the national stage, and the grief was suffocating.
Because I miss her so much and I just don't know how to keep going.
I was in shock, I felt numb, I felt sad, but I was grateful as well to have something pushing me forwards. Guys, it's been a while since I've done a prep update. Grief is such a hard one. I'm so grateful for being able to work towards nationals and put my energy and my focus into something that I know my sister would have been so proud of. And it's hard because you want to continue on and enjoy life, which makes you feel guilty, but you also know that, or I also know that that's what my sister would have wanted. I want to do her proud and I want to live a life that she would have wanted for herself. I kept training, not because I wanted to win. To be completely honest, I had lost sight totally of the stage. And I think often when really horrible and huge things happen in our lives that shake us up, it brings us back to what really matters. And I was training because it gave me purpose. I continued the prep because it gave me a reason to keep moving. And it saved me in a lot of ways. I was training because it gave me a sense of control and structure in a time where nothing else really made sense. I'd cry between sets sometimes, often actually, and I sometimes still do, or I'd just go completely numb, but I didn't stop moving. And I wasn't training for the aesthetics anymore. I was teaching myself to push through pain. I was using movement and training as a way to tell myself I can push through hard things. In those times where I was like, oh, I don't know if I can do another rep, I was like, no, you can do another rep, because that was me showing to myself that I can feel pain and still overcome it and still complete the rep and still keep going. To show up when it was hard, and that, more than anything else, gave me strength. People think that prep is the hard part, but for me, my entire prep from start to finish, until I lost my sister was super smooth. I remember saying to Scott, like, I'm wanting to keep digging. I'm not ready to stop. I haven't met the hard parts of myself yet. And it wasn't until grief hit, which was completely unrelated to the prep, but that is the times that I met some really rugged, raw, hard parts of myself. There's this idea that strength means not breaking, that it means staying strong and keeping on moving, but I've realized that that's not true. Strength is being brave enough to break and still choosing to rebuild. And what I've learned is when your world falls apart, you can't rely on motivation because you've got no motivation. After the show, after the stage, it gets quiet. And the quiet has hit harder than anything else. Not only after not having prep to work towards, identity shifts of, being an athlete, a professional athlete, alongside the imposter syndrome, like this is my first kind of show, do I belong here, when there are people who have worked for years and years and years to become a pro, and some people who are very deserving of being pros and still don't have that title. I didn't know who I was anymore. Not Charlie the athlete, not Charlie the coach, not Charlie the older sister anymore even. Just raw, empty, lost. And post-show blues are real. It's like you climb this massive mountain and at the top you get all of the praise and glory, and then all of a sudden there's nothing, no view. There's just fog. So I've started again, slowly stripping everything back. Between now and when pro shows for this new fit model division are announced, my goal is rebuilding, going back to basics, stripping training back to what it was, not training in the pursuit of something, not training for the stage, but training to connect to myself, training for empowerment, training because movement feels good. In life, when things get really messy and when things feel like the world is spinning around you and you can't even find your feet, it's a good reminder to return back to basics. Your breath, your body, your truth, your connection. If you're in a season of heartbreak or grief, if you're showing up to the gym but feel completely disconnected in life, I see you. You are not weak because you feel this way. You're strong because you haven't given up, and you're rebuilding one rep at a time, one breath at a time, one day at a time, and it counts more than anyone will ever see. The truth is, you can't access happiness through external things. It's all internal. There are some really awful things that can happen in life. At the end of the day, you are the only one who can control how you feel. You're the only one who can shift the narrative. You are the only one who can choose to be defeated by it. And you are the only one who can save yourself. While it's so easy to be all consumed by the things that go wrong, it's sometimes needed to have a reality check. Let this be your reminder that you don't need a perfect plan and that the journey might not look exactly what you expect from it. Let this be your reminder that there's no real endings. There's starting points, and maybe that's this moment right here for you, and you don't have to do everything alone. This is my new season. It's not about chasing anymore, it's about reconnecting. Training is still my medicine, but now it's less about results and more about returning to myself and to peace and to purpose and regaining that kind of fire for life again. We are not meant to carry our healing alone. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for letting me share this story behind the stage. If this speaks to you, please share something that might help another person. I'm really wanting to build a community of like-minded people here who lift each other up, who empower each other, and who encourage each other to live with purpose. I'll see you in the next one.